Hey guys, Steve here with the CPA weather forecast. We're going to get out ahead of the situation regarding the trend in this upcoming weekend event. As it stands right now, it is what we in the weather world call a near miss, particularly for areas that would be east of the I-81 corridor. That is Interstate 81. In front of us here, we have the latest Canadian model, 500 millibar charts. And we have a trough of low pressure coming into the east. This is Friday at 1 o'clock. Now I'm going to show some things. We're going to go ahead. So we have a storm system forming right off of the coast of, let's say, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And for the best tracks for snow back here in South Central PA, we want this low pressure. Let me draw it. Make this white so we can see. We want this storm to basically go like this. And then normally once it gets north of this line is when you get a backlash of snow. And coming up to that point, you have normally onshore flow. Once it gets north of us, we have offshore flow. All right. So this is the Canadian. Here is the current low pressure right there. And we're going to run this along. So we have 1,003 millibar here. Notice it's a little bit outside of this line. But what you'll notice is, see this dip right here? All right. These lines of pressure, once they start to buckle back towards, right now it's leaving a little bit of an escape. Basically, the storm could traverse up this way and move so at a direction like that. What we want this is to be a little bit deeper down here. And we want this to have these yellows and oranges. We want them to be more centered, say back to where the greens are at right now. But we don't want it to go too far, which is what happened in the event last Sunday, where basically the storm went here and ended up over Altoona. That would be a snow to rain event. For all snow, we want it to be along this line right here, or close to it. It could be a little bit inside of it, a little bit outside of it, but that is the line that we want. So the models are trending. All right. They are trending. And we're in the 5-day period. So now is when we start to pay attention to them. As I've been saying, I'm really surprised that we have escaped this easy so far. What a pattern that we had set up, that we could have got clobbered storm after storm after storm. And unfortunately, this looks like it may be the last of this pattern before we go into a more traditional winter La Nina pattern, where we have more rain events and mix events to consider. But let's just move this along here. Low pressure east of that line. Notice this buckling here. All right. So if this low pressure would be west of the line, moving up this way, it would be a better storm back here in South Central PA. But nonetheless, this is still a pretty good run. All right. And we're going to go forward again. All right. So now we're at that line, and boom. It's a pretty good storm. Better for the coast. More snow east, less snow west. Let's go to the GFS model. Notice GFS is even furthest east of over the Canadian. And it basically takes that line that we need, and it is east of it by 100 or so miles. In the realm of possibilities, normally based upon the upper air patterns, what I'm seeing, this storm should be tucked a little bit closer here. Now, we've been screwed all year long, or all season long so far. And is the same scenario going to occur? Well, I don't know. I don't think any of us know. We're only here to forecast what we can see. And what I can see is this should be over here more. We're going to go to the ensembles because that's what we're going to use. And the Canadian ensemble guidance is further east of that line. But one thing I will point out, and this is what we look for in forecasting, we want to go to the surface pressure. And we want to go to the low plus all the low locations. So here's the main low. See these tucked back up in here? That is a pretty good sign. Not really paying attention to these up here yet. They're outliers because that just means that the storm will be moving faster. These down here are still a possibility. But what we are looking at is basically this to the west of, so these are all the ensemble members. You notice a good cluster up in here, which is a good storm for us. And then you'll notice this cluster in here, which is a pretty good storm still. So we're going to go to the GFS ensembles. And we're going to run this back a little bit. You'll notice a decent amount are near that line. And as the storm comes north, you have a good amount still closer to the line. Less and less are becoming out here. Out here, storm, bye-bye. Here, on the fringe. Here, good snowstorm. And that we have that. So basically, I just wanted to get out there and let you know that the trending situation for this weekend is where we want to see it right now for a pretty decent East Coast storm. It still does have an escape mechanism, but I think as we get closer to the time period, I think we're going to start seeing some of these lows be tucked closer to the coast. That's just my gut feeling, and based upon my forecasting the weather, what I normally look for, I think that is going to be the case. So we'll continue to monitor, and the time frame right now would be Friday, it looks like afternoon into Sunday period. So we don't have the timing nailed down, but that's where we're looking at. And as it stands right now, it is a near miss. What I mean by that is 5 days out. Some of the models are forecasting, 2 to 6 inches of snow. We're not even going to go there right now. We're not even going to consider amounts. It's just good to see that a storm is on the table. And we will monitor it. And the new European guidance is coming in here within the next half hour, 45 minutes. So I'll take a look at that. And I'll try to do a video update every day. Thanks for viewing. Have yourself an awesome day.